Hey y'all, what's going on? How are you? How are you? This is your girl, Dr. T. I am coming to you this September 1st with something better than ever. I am coming to you now in September. Um, I created something a little new for you. And this is going to be a new series or a new platform called the Eye Doctor's Corner. It is still part of Sustain Your Biz Academy. Don't forget to go into Sustain Your Biz Academy. I will put that on here where you can, just subscribe and see what your girl is putting out there for you. And to be able to now bring you some eye care information. So, let's get started. So, I have been in practice for over 22 years. Over this COVID-19 season, I have created Sustain Your Business Academy, but I wanted to come to you this September because it is what? Back to school time. So, I wanted to help you and your family um, guide you through some important items or things or tips that you can use in this season or in this back to school. So, again, how can I talk about this? Because I'm your girl, Dr. T.O.D. And I have been in practice. I practice a lot of pediatric optometry. I basically see babies up to 106. Why? Because I created a sustainable business model that allows me to be in practice, to be able to help those that are less fortunate, underserved, as we are talking about bridging the gap in healthcare. That's what I do. So as we move into the school year, I thought it would be important for me to talk about the importance of eye health as we move into this virtual learning and this whole new experience that we have now in the midst of COVID-19. So one of my things that I love my babies. And I think it's important for parents, moms, dads out there, if you're listening, to understand one, we're going to talk about one, the difference between a eye screening and an eye exam. We're going to talk about that. And then two, some of the things that you can set up in your child's area that will help them visually. You got it? So we're going to talk about the difference between eye exams versus eye screenings, because a lot of times we as lay people don't understand the difference between a routine eye exam and an eye screening. So a lot of times you will hear eye screening or routine eye care. Okay, you got it? So an eye screening is what it is. It's a screening. So I'm excited to announce also that here with my practice, as we are shifting to this new model that we have created, we are now able to do an eye screening virtually that has been approved by the FDA, by the American Optometric and Pediatric environments or higher ups to be able to do your eye exams at home, even for you. So it is important to understand between an eye screening and a routine eye exam or a comprehensive eye exam, right? So as you move forward with your children along the way, start noticing whether or not they're rubbing their eyes more or they're getting headaches or anything like that. So those are some of the indicators of that they're overusing their eyes. Okay. So that's tip number one for you parents. Make sure that you are looking at them and seeing if there's any differences in what they are doing. Okay. So you want to make sure that they have good lighting. That's tip number two. You need to be sure that there's good lighting where they are in the room that they are. Although we're looking at a screen, you also want to be sure that there's enough lighting that they are still able to see visually. Okay, so we talked about the difference between a screening and a comprehensive eye exam, and we talked about the importance of lighting. But I just am so excited about this new opportunity to bring the Eye Doctor's Corner to you. And I want to show you guys something very, very special. So let's see if I can get that in. Yay. Stop sharing that because that wasn't what I wanted. We're going to go back. We're going to do a do-over. I see what the problem is. So you see here, Dr. T is also the tech person. We got this going now. Trying to escape this. All right, we got it. So yeah, so it's important for you to understand the difference between a routine eye exam, we talked about that, and the difference between, what's going on in, your child's life as you are watching them in this time. So you want to look at the whether or not they're rubbing their eyes, and you also want to double check to make sure that they're not getting headaches. So here's the other tip for you. I know they're in school and I know we're online a lot. You want to have them, if you can type a little note to their teacher, if they can, every 20 minutes, take 20 seconds to look 20 feet away. You got it? It's called the 20-20-20 rule. You ready? Every 20 minutes, take 20 seconds to look 20 feet away. Okay? Remember that. 20-20-20. You got it? So even for you parents, every 20 minutes, take 20 seconds to look 20 feet away. So now that you have that, you then want to make sure that the computer is not as close to them. They're always like this. You don't want them to be that close, okay? The teacher still should be able to see them as they are talking to them. So you want to be sure that they are not sitting so close to it. So number one, the difference between an eye screening, it's not an eye exam. It is what it is. It's a screening. Then the checking to make sure that your child is not developing headaches by the end of the day, and to make sure that they're not rubbing their eyes because they're on the computer, they could be their eyes could be drying out some. And the other piece to that is to make sure that there's enough lighting and they're not up close. So the big takeaway is the 20-20-20 rule. Okay, the 20-20-20 rule. That's every 20 minutes. Have them take 20 seconds to look 20 feet away. I know it may be a little difficult, but even if they're just sitting there and looking, across the room in their room, or if they're in the dining room or the living room or in the kitchen, that they're looking out a door so that they can see that. The major point is that it makes them blink. So when we are looking at our computer screens a lot, we don't blink enough. Our blink rate goes down. And so it's the same thing with children. Their blink rate goes down, which then can lead to dryness of the eyes or irritation of the eyes. And you definitely want to watch out for that. So you want to be able to make sure that they get their routine eye exam this year because it is crucial. I know many optometrists were affected by COVID-19 and some of the riots and things of that nature. But here at Logic Eye Care, we've created a platform. We have partnered with Eye Care Live, which is an app that you can go on and you can find Logic Eye Care, or you can find Dr. Tamara Hill Bennett, and you can go on and schedule a virtual appointment. So this way that we are able to still continue to follow you and your family, as well as following others that are here in Pennsylvania. So, and it doesn't, you don't even have to be in Philadelphia. Because I'm licensed in the state, I can see you regardless of whether or not you're here in Philly. So tip number one, make sure they get a routine eye exam, not an eye screening. Although on Eye Care Live, once you sign up with us, you will be able to do an eye screening and it will tell us if you have any visual problems. That's all a eye screening will do, is it will give us an indicator of whether or not you have any eye care problems, especially for kids. Kids can accommodate. So I'll tell you a story. I almost got left back in third grade because, yes, I saw the 2020 line, but up close, everything was a blur and no one knew. That's why my reading, in third grade was really horrible. So now that we are progressing to making sure that children are getting their eyes screened, a lot of times the nurses do not understand the difference between the farsightedness and the nearsightedness. So that's why I always tell my parents. So I'm telling you, if you're listening to this, I'm telling you to make sure that you get your children's eyes tested. So if you're listening to this, you are now entering the Eye Doctor's Corner with your girl, Dr. TOD. My video is not working right now that I want to put up, but I will definitely post it a little bit later so you can see what's going on. And it's just breaking news that here in September, we have created another space for you to learn more about your health and wellness as it pertains to what? Your eyes. So, and as we are moving into this new online movement as it pertains to online learning, you definitely want to be sure that your children have the right things that they need as they're learning. So as they're learning, you want to be sure that they have the right light. Okay. So make sure that the computer is facing them, but not the back of the window that they can see. So there should never be a window toward the screen. You want to be sure that there is no window. Why? So it's almost how you're seeing this picture, how the window is behind me. And that's a good way that I'm showing. A window should never be behind you. And even if in your own workspace at home, the window should never be behind you while you're working on the computer, because it's just too much lighting. Okay. You definitely need lighting, but the window should be in front of you, not behind you. So you want to be sure of that. And then to watch your children as over the next, I would say, weeks or so, just to see if they're getting eye fatigue. Okay. And what eye fatigue might look like for some may not look like for them. Okay. So they may wake up and say, I don't want to look at the computer anymore. Oh, I don't want to read. That's a sign of eye fatigue. Okay. Especially for the kids. So if they are getting that, I know that in the past, we did not recommend any tinted lenses, but we probably, now that we are moving in this direction, you may want to look at getting anti-glare lenses for them, not tints, but anti-glare lenses for your children from a doctor, that is ophthalmic, not this over-the-counter pickup from Rite Aid nonsense. Okay. These are your eyes. So you need to be able to get something that you are able to use for them as they continue on in their education. Got it? If this is adding any value to you, press V for value. And And if you learned anything, if you have any eye care needs or anything like that, put it in a chat for me. This is what the Eye Doctor's Corner is about. Again, my video did not work. And that was my breaking news for September 1st, is that we have created another means of educating our viewers about their health and wellness as it pertains to their eyes. And it's called the Eye Doctor's Corner. So if you have any comments or anything like that, post them. If you have any questions about your own eye care or your glasses or anything like that, post that for me, because I would love to hear from you, and knowing that your eyes are healthy. Okay. And then the other thing with your children, just listen to them. They may, again, they could be kind of doing the 51 fake out, but 52 fake out. But you also want to just really pay attention to them to make sure that they aren't having any eye care or related issues, because they can get some dryness as well. We are seeing an uptick in kids with dry eye symptoms due to the online usage, the Zooming, the Google Classroom, whatever, Canva, whatever it is that they are, Canvas, whatever they are using, you definitely want to be sure. And even for yourself, you want to be sure that you are not overusing your eyes as you're on the computer. So again, if you can remember the 20-20-20 rule, that is key. Every 20 minutes, take 20 seconds to look 20 feet away. So the reason one that I talked about was it makes you blink, but also for kids, it just diverts their attention a little bit so that they can come back and focus. And when I say focus, they're now blinking. So now they are able to have a little bit more moisture to their eyes because they're looking away. And then two, they now say, okay, now I can get back to work. I'm not looking at the TV. I'm not looking at the screen anymore. I looked away. I looked outside for a minute. It's raining, or the sun is shining, or the bird is out the window, or wherever. Or even if they're just looking out the door, wherever you are, that they're looking far away, and it creates a different focus for them for when they come back. So just another tip that, maybe you can give to your teacher and say, you heard it from Dr. T, that, hey, every 20 minutes, give them 20 seconds, and you can just have a countdown rolling, on the screen for 20 seconds. We're just going to look 20 feet away. And it doesn't necessarily have to be 20 feet. It can definitely just be something where it's further away so that they're not on the computer. And again, maybe where they are, I've seen pictures where they're like this up against the computer. They don't have to be that close. They can definitely pull back in their learning, so they're not so up close to the monitor from where the teacher is teaching on there. And even for yourself, if you're Zooming or anything like that, you definitely do not have to be so up close where people are looking up your nostrils. So you can always just sit back and relax as you are doing this, because when you're so up close, it's just too much. Okay. And you definitely want to make sure that your lighting is correct. So sometimes we don't have enough overhead lighting. So I also recommend maybe something like, I'm going to show you my little setup. So this has a lighting here, and it clicks onto the table. So something like this you can get from Walmart, or I got mine from Amazon. And just in case the computer breaks down or stops running, it has a click here for a phone. So you or your child can now, then go and reconnect via that, if they're not always on the computer. So that's something that you can add, and then you can adjust the lighting. This has warm settings, and it also has the brighter settings to it as well. So something that you may be able to attach to the table, so there's enough lighting over where they are. Lighting is key for vision, and for you to be able, so they can learn. Right. So, and then you can learn. So if you're ever noticing any issues, really within the next 30 days, really 14 to 30 days, really hone into how your children's eyes are feeling, whether or not they feel like their vision is blurred when they're looking for a way after being on there. That is eye fatigue. Okay, so I want you to be mindful of that. And even for yourself, that is eye fatigue. Okay, so we want to be sure that you're getting everything that you can out of the Eye Doctor's Corner. So I will post the new video. It wasn't working. It's just breaking news of creating the Eye Doctor's Corner for you, along with other things that I'm putting on social media, so you can, go into this live and ask your questions about anything related to eye care. I want you to also go over to Logic Eye Care Inc. Or Logic Eye Care. It has the Phoropter, cute little Phoropter on there. You can also like that page. You can always go to Eye Care Live. That's also the platform that we're using to screen children and adults before they come into our office. So we are able to do telemedicine virtually before they come into the office. And then when they come into the office, we can really work them up really, really quick and get you out. But the most important thing that I love about Eye Care Live is that it also allows you to have a dry eye consultation as well. So if you're thinking that you may have some dry eye, you can always look for Dr. Tamara Hill Bennett or Logic Eye Care, which is my company, and you will be able to get a dry eye consultation as well. And even for your kids, just to make sure that they don't have any dry eye. So during this time, as they're going back to school, remember the 20-20-20 rule. Okay, I'm going to write that in here. Let's see, 20-20-20 rule. And that is every 20 minutes, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Okay. So yeah, so that is the 20-20-20 rule. And that will, again, help so much, because it allows you to move away from the computer and allows you to come back and to refocus on things. What else? So we talked about the difference between a eye screening and an eye exam. It is what it is. A screening is not an eye exam. It is just a screening. It's an indicator of what can possibly go on, what might be possibly going on with your eyes, but it doesn't take the place of what a eye exam or a comprehensive eye exam or whatever else. So as we go into this school year, for yourself and for your children, just make sure that you are looking at whether or not their eyes are blurred by the end of the day. That's tip number 1. Number 2, whether or not they're rubbing their eyes. That's tip number 2. And number 3, if they're having headaches. That's tip number 3. So this is your girl, Dr. T. I have created this for you. I just want to see if this will work again. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm just so excited that I did this video and now it doesn't want to work. So let me see. Let's see. Nah, it ain't coming up. I'll post it a little later on there for you. Let me just see if it'll come up. Nah, it ain't coming up. It's okay. It's all right. So did you learn anything today? I am so excited about the Eye Doctor's Corner. I talked about this before, and I listen, I've tried it in schools. I've done it in the past. It's time to bring it back, and so this is where we talk about everything eyes, because this is what I do. Again, we are talking about back to school. If you're just joining us, we're talking about back to school and some tips that you can do for yourself as well as for your children. So you may have to kind of watch the replay. And if you're watching the replay, just put #replay. If you are liking what you are here, go hit your girl up on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at 2020 Eye Doctor. You can also follow on Logic Eye Care. I'll be posting some eye care stuff. You can also go to our website at www.logiceyecare.com. There you will see the link to Eye Care Live, where you can get a contact lens eval online. You can get an eye screening. You can even test your own eye, and you can request me for a consultation. Your girl, Dr. Tamara Hill Bennett. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope this added value to your life today. And remember, as I keep going, that I want you to win in this season. I want you to win. What does winning mean? Welcoming in the new you, investing in yourself, and to never, ever give up on yourself. So here we are now adding another platform to our Sustain Your Business Academy and Dr. TOD, which is the Eye Doctor's Corner. I will see you tonight at 8 o'clock for Girl Talk, where we're going to be talking a little bit about women and how we can empower each other in the aspect of our own personal growth, our own professional growth, and just want it to be engaging. So if you're watching this, come back at 8 o'clock, and I want to be able to talk with you. All right. So I will see you around 8:15. And this is your girl, Dr. T. I will see you on the other side. And remember, this is the Eye Doctor's Corner with your girl, Dr. TOD. I will be coming to you possibly the first of every month, just with the Eye Doctor's Corner. I haven't really figured it all out, but no, it's going to be great news about your eye care. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the eye care industry. I have been in pediatric journals. I'm now in the journal in Canada for pediatric optometry, so ophthalmology. So it's just amazing. So I will see you guys soon at 8 o'clock. Come back for Girl Talk. Bye-bye.